Hello, welcome back. I'm sharing all my learnings on my fitness journey, and today we are talking about part two of the basics. Yesterday, I spoke about water being such an important part of this whole journey, and today we are tackling the second one, the most obvious, basic, duh, you have to fix this if you want to get better with your health thing is sleep. Yes, I really believe sleep is the most underrated therapy there ever is. Like, it's free, it's what we were born with, like, we've learned how to sleep from our birth, and it's easy, but still, we don't do it. There's so many things that become so important at that point in time when we're supposed to be sleeping. Our mind is rushing towards something that's really not important at all. I used to run on 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep. I used to be very groggy, very agitated, very hyper, no clarity of thoughts. And I somehow had gotten used to that being my normal. I thought that's how you function, that's how you are. And I did not like how it was feeling, obviously. And once I started to fix my sleep, get good amount of sleep, 6 to 7 hours, um, there was so much clarity. Initially, I used to find it very unusual, because I'm not used to those many hours of sleep. I am very privileged to be able to afford that kind of sleep. Um, I acknowledge that, and I'm so grateful. Despite of having time to sleep, I would not sleep. That was a choice I was making, and it was not helping me at all. So once I started getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep, good sleep, that helped in a lot of things. One, of course, clarity of thought, and then you feel so much better. There's so much energy to do things, to want to take up new tasks. So whatever comes your way, there's better clarity to do those things. And another thing it helped with, to a great extent, is in reducing my cravings. I used to notice that whenever I've not slept well, the next day suddenly there are these sugar cravings, something sweet, something fried, something oily, something salty. um, I don't mind consuming those. Like, I've not cut down on sugar and all, which I'll talk about when I come to food part of it. But the craving would be unusually high, the level of craving, like I would want to eat it so badly, and like a chocolate or something sweet, I would crave for it so much. And that's when I associated with my sleep. I noticed whenever I've not slept well, and when there's a lot of stress too, the stress also amplifies with lack of sleep, and I'm so groggy, agitated, and all those things, and there's no clarity of thought, nothing, right? So my mind runs towards food, and it would be very difficult to control that craving when I have not slept well. So fixing my sleep was really important for me, and I used to prioritize everything else over my sleep. Like, if I have to watch something on TV, or if some series is new and I want to binge watch it, I have to watch every episode of it. Then I would finish the whole thing at the cost of my sleep. If, let's say, I've had a fight at home, I would simply keep thinking of all negative thoughts, and how I should have said this, how could this have happened, whatever it is, brewing in that state all through the night, and punish myself. It didn't really help with anything, because the next day I would be still agitated, very frustrated. Again, lack of clarity would make things worse. So that sleep really didn't help anyone. And I would just punish myself over it and not sleep. And I, like I said, prioritized everything else over sleep. I would start to work at that time, and so many ideas would pop up, and I would get very excited and I want to work on it, but that is not the time to work on it. So things didn't work well with lack of sleep. So I realized this is not helping. And also, another thing was, the more I stayed awake, the more I would get hungry later in the night, and I would end up eating more. So that way also it was affecting me so much. So I had to fix my sleep. And for that, there were a few changes that I made. Okay, first, for that, I want to give you a background of the story. I am very much into meditation, being relaxed, mindfulness, healing journey, and spiritual journey, and all that I really enjoy. So according to that, I should be in a state of bliss and feeling so good and all that, right? But I had these very weird jitters that I would feel in my body, like, and it was kind of making me very anxious, and that nervous energy. And I would always think, why is this happening? I had kind of improved my sleep to some extent, And I would, like I said, there was not crazy stress, and I was very mindful of everything in my life. And still, that anxiety, I was wondering where was it coming from. Then I realized it was because of coffee. I used to drink a lot of black coffee, and the excess coffee was making me get those jitters and anxiety. And when that realization hit, right, I had to give up on coffee. Initially, I was thinking, how am I ever going to give up coffee? Because that is such an integral part of my life. Like, I'm so hooked to it. I cannot imagine a life without coffee. But I hated the way these jitters felt in my body. I did not want to feel that way. That restlessness. It's not seen outside. It happens inside, and it's very difficult to explain. And I hated that feeling. So I decided I'm going to skip coffee. Let's see what happens. I think in about 4 or 5 days time, it was quite quick actually, or maybe a week. I don't remember. These jitters stopped. From the time I stopped coffee, 5 6 days, 1 week, these jitters stopped, and it felt so blissful. It felt so good. Oh my god, I can't explain how nice it felt. I was really tempted to have coffee again, but in comparison with those non-jitter blissful state, that couple of minutes of sipping on that coffee meant nothing. I just didn't want that anymore. So that way it became a lot easier to quit coffee. I still haven't completely quit it. I drink once in a while, just because I love the taste. I have it once in a while, but that craving is not there anymore. I'm not addicted to it anymore, because this whole feeling of bliss feels so much better. Trust me. That's why it was so much easier for me to give up on that addiction when I thought it was really impossible in my life. And because of cutting down on coffee, I could sleep so much better at night. Consuming coffee was also keeping me up because of caffeine consumption. Like I said, I used to drink a lot of coffee. That definitely impacted my sleep. So I automatically started dozing off quite early. I could not stay up. So that really helped. And because I was also walking, that physical exertion was there. So that really helped me too. Another change that I made to my sleep routine is to keep my sleep space around the area around my bed itself, and everything clean, nice, to make it feel good. Set up like an ambience, uh, have some good lighting if you need, sort of a thing. I really put in some effort to keep that space clean and neat and organized, and that bed should feel enticing to go sleep there. Like I said, how you decide from your future, right? What sort of a space would your future self live in? How would she take care of her things? How is she maintaining everything? Make decisions from that space. So earlier, my bed sometimes would be cluttered. Bed as such would be clean, but around it there would be a lot of clutter. So I cleaned out those things, so that when I look at my surroundings when I'm falling asleep, I feel at peace, at ease. It feels good. I really worked on that, and that somehow started making me feel nice when I go to bed, like imagining that girl who takes care of herself, who prioritizes herself. She's the one going to bed. Then the next thing I changed was what I consume in terms of information before sleeping, that is, scrolling on my phone. This, I can't tell you how much of an impact it has on us. Now, just imagine a cup of tea, okay? Tea brewing into water. Imagine the tea bag being all the information that you consume, and water is your subconscious mind. Let that seep in, literally. Whatever we consume at night just before sleeping, right? First of all, our subconscious mind is super duper active, and it absorbs so much more than what our conscious mind can absorb. So it's always collecting information from everywhere. But especially the ones at night, when you're in that state of drowsiness that you're about to doze off, that have the most impact on your subconscious mind. Everything gets consumed, and it's making an impression on your subconscious mind every night. And then you take those thoughts, feelings, whatever that you consumed at that part in the night, and that brews in your subconscious mind, and it's getting reprogrammed to make that your reality, to make that your comfort zone, that to make that your familiarity. So imagine that over every night, over so many years. what kind of an impact it's going to have on you. You know, your life will start mirroring what you consume. That's why I started being very mindful of what I consume through the day also, yes, but specifically just before falling asleep. Earlier, like I said, I would binge watch series, and I love thriller series, you know, something thriller or suspense. I find that a little scary also, but still I love watching it. I want to be the detective and find out what happens and things like that. So I would always watch those before sleeping, and I would doze off to those. And I would kind of have these fears somewhere, you know, I developed fears that having a lot of money is not safe, being healthy and fit and beautiful is not safe, because usually it's the pretty girls who get kidnapped or something. So all these subconsciously things get programmed and they become your beliefs, and you won't even know what is impacting you. And these are all hidden, okay? It won't be out there, it's so evident then you can clean it up. No, it's not like that. This programming will become a part of you, become a part of your identity, and you will have no clue this has happened. So I was so mindful to not mindlessly scroll on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, like anybody's content. If I watch someone being very successful, I would have these feelings of, why am I not doing this in my life? How can I be a failure? And if I dozed off with those thoughts the whole night, my mind subconscious programming is brewing that I'm such a failure, I'm not successful, I'm not good enough. And next morning I'm fighting to be a better person, a healthier person, when whole night, that 6 hours, 7 hours of sleep, my subconscious has nicely, you know, soaked in that feeling of I'm a failure. It's you know, the one of the biggest things I think in this whole journey is to bring your subconscious mind on board, your body on board. So I was very, very mindful of what I consume. At least the last 1 hour, 30 minutes, just especially in those moments when I'm dozing off, it has to be something dreamy, beautiful, something that inspires me, that makes me feel like, yes, I'm working toward this in my life, and that can be a possibility for me. I watch, you know, those not reality, what is that? Selling sunset kind of things, like beautiful homes. I watch it on mute because a lot of drama is also there in that, which I don't like. But I like seeing those beautiful homes, clean space, how luxurious it feels, and the kind of you know, like people who are in that frame also so fit and so well dressed. All that I try to soak in. You know, an example like that. And I also listen to a lot of prayers. Hanuman Chalisa was one of them, and a lot of these positive songs that I listened to. I had some affirmations. I initially started with a very complicated routine of a lot of things, but I changed it to something simple. And I definitely give thanks to how my day has gone. I feel really grateful and try to fall asleep in that state of gratitude, to know that uh, every day I wake up is a blessing, and I can change, things can be different. So that really, really helped me so much. I can't stress this enough. Getting good amount of sleep is really, really important, and I can understand if you're in that phase of life where you're not able to give that much time to sleep because you have other priorities like kids or something like that. I can totally understand. But whenever you get a chance, and you know, if there's a thing that you can really, really work on and prioritize, then I would always recommend it to fix your sleep. That really helps you so much more than you know. And I mean, that's why they call it beauty sleep also, right? Because it rejuvenates your body, it energizes you, it helps you in so many more ways beyond what you can even understand mentally. So sleep, it's so like I said, the basic of it, but we always overcomplicate things, and we think that we have to do something, we have to figure out something, we have to take some action, and then we don't do it, and then we fail, and then we'll sit feeling bad about ourselves. We get so used to that cycle. Break that pattern. Sleep really helps you get so much better. Like I said, clarity of thought is one thing that really, really comes with good sleep. So yeah, these are all the things that I really feel helped me a lot in terms of sleep, and I will share the next parts to this journey. If you stay till here, again, it really means that you're committed. I'm so proud of you, and I know that you want to work further. So I want to give you homework. uh, how can you improve your sleep? is number one. I also got some good eye mask and all that I wear in the night, but keeping it clean and washing it regularly, all that is a headache, so I don't really follow that anymore. I kind of digressed, but yeah. Homework is how can you improve your sleep. There are different things that you can do, like, as a family, if you can inculcate better sleep patterns, that will be amazing. Teach your kids also. um, Sleep is really, really, really important. So yes, how can you improve your sleep? What can you do? If you can get some nice teas, like, chamomile tea, I think really helps to get good sleep. Or if you can find some music during the day that you think will help you calm yourself down so you can fall asleep. Find out what can you consume just before going to sleep in terms of social media or whatever it is. Like, have a little playlist that you can watch that inspires you, motivates you, makes you feel good, you know makes you feel at peace. Something soothing. Let it not be too loud, too fast paced and too stressful. Something easy. And clean up your space around your bed. Clean up your bed, clean up all the space around it. Make it look nice, make it inviting for you to go get a good night's sleep, for you to feel good. Like, I feel like now my bed area is my sanctuary. I'm very mindful of what I allow around it. Now, even if, let's say, it's a common space, like, you all share that room space with family, and you want to be there, just do a quick cleanse just before falling asleep. Just thank that bed for being there, and thank you for all the experiences it has given you, and you feel so good about it, and just thank it, and just say whatever negativity it has accumulated through the day, I just let it go, I surrender it to the higher power. Just cleanse it off and clean up your space. Like I said, it's your sanctuary. Give it some thought, give it some effort. Again, let the decisions come from your future self. What would she do to get better sleep? What would she be consuming in terms of information just before sleeping? What kind of music will she listen to? What kind of conversations will she have with her partner when she's just falling asleep? Both of you can give thanks to the entire day, talk of a few snippets of things that worked so beautifully, and talk about your future. What would you like? Um, how would you like your life to be? What are your visions? Share those things. Feel good about it, and again, be mindful to not go in that negative space of how it's not there now. Then again, like I said, you are brewing in your mind again with those negative thoughts all through the night. So don't let your subconscious absorb that. Instead, act as if your future is already here and you're sleeping like your future self, that fit, rich, beautiful, sexy self. Okay? Improve on your sleep, and we will see you tomorrow.